All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Daily Update, my 1000 Day Challenge. This is day 362, so we're almost coming close to a year itself. So, yep, great things that are keeping up to the schedule. Even though one thing to bear in mind that you will see that obviously on the first year, the progress isn't as much as I would like to expect, which is around just 50% gain from where I started. But looking in terms of hindsight, YC is a very good test because this is where I've truly started sticking to the plan in terms of the trading wise. So it's still a very good start, and I'm still tweaking in terms of my risk management wise and also some of the trading strategy in place. So even for my main trading strategy in mind, I also do intend to perhaps tweak a little bit of the risk management as I get more comfortable with the strategy ahead. All right, with that said, let's get right back into the daily market structure update. So looking in terms of the structure market itself, we still remain same as yesterday, no change in terms of the market structure. But do note that there are very interesting price movement. Oh yeah, and also you can see that TradingView has updated the line chart to have this kind of a signal to show that the market is currently open. So if you actually go to market that is closed, then you will see it not so-called blinking in that sense. All right, so looking in terms of this, we do see that S&P 500 on the daily chart itself still looks to be bullish itself, even though tentatively it's neutral because you got a higher high, a low and a lower low itself. All right, same goes for Nasdaq. We are still trending towards the upside. Hopefully, we see some sort of consolidation again before we go up to higher high, or we could see pullback just as well. So personally, for me, I prefer to see consolidation simply because when consolidation happens, it actually gives rise to a stronger base to push to higher high. But on the flip side, if you're looking to invest or adding new position itself, then pullback would be a much greater kind of a thing that you want to see because it gives you entry at a better price. All right, and yeah, so in terms of the ASH and KO, it definitely has been really better in terms of the government. And you see the Chinese government actually released quite a couple of news, especially earlier today, to try to calm the people down. And you can see this being reflected in this very strong bounce. So you can see the price over here, the line drawn has been very indicative in that sense. So a very nice potential daily kind of support region itself, all the way back over here when there was consolidating. So it seems like we could potentially have a capitulation phase. As you can see that people are no longer that eager to sell off here and the volume is starting to reduce. So if we get very strong bounce, we could actually resume back towards the bullish trend. But bearing in mind that usually when you have a huge sell-off, you generally have a second sell-off whereby people start to panic a little bit, and then when they see a little bounce, they want to just close off their trade, thinking that you will probably see even lower low. So if we actually see further low with reduced momentum itself, that will be a very good sign that there could be a potential bottom in my opinion, in my personal opinion. So similar case for KWEB itself. So like I mentioned, even with the sell-off, the thing is it's extremely hard to catch the bottom. And right now we do see an increase in terms of momentum on the MACD itself, the recent peak, which is very much expected because a lot of people did not expect the government to actually impact the entire business model of a company, for example, in the case of the education sector itself. So that to me also took me by surprise, but fortunately, I would say that I didn't invest anything in terms of the education sector simply because I'm personally not a fan of it. But yeah, otherwise, I did actually was interested to look into it, but when I look more into the business model, it didn't attract me in that sense of the scalability and how they will maintain their competitive edge with time in that perspective. All right, and finally for Bitcoin itself. So Bitcoin has been looking really good for the past 8 days. In fact, we formed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive green candlestick itself. And potentially today we could still reverse to a red candlestick, or we could have some sort of rejection or indecision candlestick, which would be very important. And if you could maintain above the 200 exponential moving average, it would be great. But if we get rejected, do bear in mind that we will still potentially be seeing a lower high over here. So we could potentially still consolidate over here. And in my opinion, we consolidate over here, you'll not be a bad sign. As long as we stay above this 36,000 region itself, we could perhaps form an ascending triangle before we transit towards the upside. So a lot of people have been talking about a Wyckoff distribution over here at the top. So over here actually also looks like very much the Wyckoff accumulation time, which you can take a look. So if it does happen, then we have some sort of accumulation phase over right now. So perhaps a couple of days or even a week, which would make a lot of sense because they will consolidate around 3 months since the start of the so-called bear market. So in which case, you could potentially see a continuation pattern towards the upside, which is 50 to 60K region. In which case, do we see a potential double top formation for even more further bearish momentum, or we could see a continuation towards higher high. So yep. So with that said, there's no new trades, even if you're looking in terms of the 4-hour chart, because I'm looking for somewhat like a consolidation when it comes to price action wise. So over here, I do see that there is a reduced momentum finally. So we could, without a doubt, face a much bigger pullback towards the 35-36K region. But if we find strong support there, we could potentially steal from a very nice consolidation pattern, be it in terms of symmetrical triangle, descending triangle, or even better still, ascending triangle itself. So with that said, I would just wait for a closer signal, and preferably we could stay above the 20 exponential moving average on the 4-hour chart itself. It would be an even greater bullish sign. And yep, so with that said, I've come to the end of today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop by your comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.